Hello and welcome to the weather update. It's October 31st, almost 10 o'clock. Happy Halloween. The sky was pretty Halloween looking tonight. You could see the moon in behind these stratocumulus clouds, these marine stratocumulus clouds. But during the day, it was mostly sunny for much of Long Island, and it was beautiful. And I was on the Pine Barrens looking for some fall foliage, and I did find some, so that's good. Looking at the current conditions around outside right now, we'll start with the satellite image, and you'll see those marine stratocumulus clouds. The winds have shifted more to the south, and it's bringing those clouds onshore. They were offshore for a good part of the day, and you could see these clouds off to the south of Long Island. That is snow, I believe. That is snow that you're looking at there on that satellite image. So yeah, look at all the snow that fell in the mountains. Wow, that's impressive. So you can see these marine stratocumulus clouds. They weren't a problem over Long Island, but the northeast to easterly winds did wind up pushing them in over New Jersey. You can see right there. Look at that, New Jersey right there. Even has that. I think it's called Constantina font. It's kind of, it's fitting for New Jersey. That's all I could say. But you could see the clouds were pushed in over New Jersey, so they didn't really have a clear day down there. But we did here on Long Island, and it was absolutely beautiful. Oh, yeah, we're going to get to that in a minute. Don't worry. So let's get to the current conditions across the area. We'll go look at the high temperatures. So right now we are in the low 40s, upper 30s, depending on where you're at. And the heat's not working too well in my place. It's 63 in here. So I don't know what's going on. But hopefully it'll get straightened out by Monday, because it's going to get a lot colder. Another one issue after another. So West Hampton, though, is dropping, though. 31. The clouds don't roll in. They're going to have some radiational cooling. And let's see what it is in New Jersey. It's also pretty chilly. 31 also in the Pine Barrens west of Toms River. So the Pine Barrens are already below freezing. You can see there's a 33 in Ridge. So the Pine Barrens are going to go below freezing tonight. Let's see what the high temperatures were today. So we'll go to the high temperatures. Maximum temperatures, so you can get an idea of what the highs were across the area. So across the island, we had highs in the upper 40s, actually. Managed to reach the upper 40s today, which is still below normal, about 10 degrees below normal. But it was warmer than yesterday, where we were only in around 40 for the afternoon. The sun did get us up there. The winds were fairly light, and that's what the highs were. City also. Let's see what New Jersey was. Same there, a little bit warmer, maybe 48. 49 in Toms River, so yeah, tack on a couple of degrees. And then we'll also look at the minimum temperature as well, what the low was this morning. Let's see. Wow, look at West Hampton. West Hampton got down to 19. I don't know if you see that 19 there, but there it is, 19 in West Hampton. Wow, so that was this morning. I guess they did wind up radiating in West Hampton. They got down to 19. The rest of us got down to around the freezing mark. Almost everybody got below freezing last night. It was definitely the first freeze of the season. Maybe a little early, I think. Maybe a tad early. Let's see what the lows were in New Jersey. We can get those lows to load here for Toms River. So not quite as cold in Toms River last night, 28. So they didn't have the radiational cooling like we did. But man, West Hampton got down to 19, which is awesome. And they could get cold tonight before the clouds roll in. So let's go take a look at what you all want to know. What's going on with the tropics? Yes, say hello to the Tropical Depression 29. This is going to become Eta. That's right, Eta. This will become Eta, and it's looking pretty healthy. I gotta say, this thing could become a tropical storm by tomorrow. I think, I think it will. So let's get the latest on this. There's not too much released yet on this depression. They are issuing advisories. So where are the advisories then? I clicked on it. I didn't get it. When I click on this, it's supposed to. There we go. All right. So here we go. So this is the tropical depression that's formed over the Central Caribbean Sea. Forecast to become a hurricane in a couple of days that approaches Nicaragua and Honduras. Another hurricane. So as of 5 p.m., its location is 15.0 north, 73.2 west, about 315 miles southeast of Kingston, Jamaica, and about 665 miles east of Cabo Gracias a Dios on the Nicaraguan-Honduras border. Maximum sustained winds 35 miles an hour, moving west at 15 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure 1,006 millibars to 9.71 inches. This is, let's get the latest graphics on this thing, and here we go. So this is going to become Eta, fortunately for us, it's not going to be hitting the United States, but unfortunately for Nicaragua and Honduras. And it's an unusual track to see this city, just because there's a strong high pressure. There's a flow that's pretty much not going to allow it to move north. You'll see what I mean when we look at the upper air. But look at that. So that's going to be Eta, and that's going to be heading for, it looks like, Honduras, or it looks more like Nicaragua right now. I mean, I don't even think these areas see that many hurricanes. Usually this far south, usually you see them make landfall in Mexico. But that's quite unusual. Quite unusual. So we'll look at the satellite imagery of 29, soon to be Eta. And it looks like it's getting itself together. So, yep, it's getting itself together. So let's go to the models. We'll start with the upper air. Ooh, looks like the colors have changed on the site. So we'll start with the upper air. And we'll look at the North America. I like the blue. It's more pleasing. Oh, maybe they change it for the seasons. I don't know. I think they did update this a little bit. Okay, so this is the... Let's see, what does it say? It doesn't say what... Choose a run time. Oh, yeah, here we go. 18Z. So they did redesign it. So this is the 18Z GFS. And we're looking at the upper air pattern. You'll see we got a little bit of ridging tomorrow. Gives us the warmth. And then here comes this monster trough, which is going to bring a very strong cold front through on tomorrow afternoon. And this is a really deep, look at those dark blues. This is going to be some pretty cold air that's going to be coming in by Monday morning. We're generally probably going to be dropping into the 20s probably, definitely going below freezing. And Monday is going to be very cold and very windy because you can see the tightness in those isobars. So you're going to have some pretty intense wind chills. Meanwhile, if you look down here, there's Eta. But you see that the flow is going to suppress this down. So by looking at this here, we'll draw this here, and you'll see that the flow in the atmosphere, I'll draw this in red, this trough is going to help keep this. There's like a ridge beneath this trough, so this has to move this way. It cannot go up here because there's a ridge over here. All right. So you get this ridge right over here, and then you got the trough over here. So this is not going to let. Fortunately, it's gonna keep it away from us. It's going to be, unfortunately, a problem for Central America to deal with. But anyway, you can see that deep trough. There it is. And we're going to be dealing with that trough. And it starts lifting out on Tuesday a little bit, so the weather will improve. I think it'll be a little less windy. And then we've got this huge ridge that's going to be building in, keeping us above normal for quite some time. And then look at that. It forms another tropical system. You'll see that the trough is in the west. And this tropical system, we're going to have to watch this tropical system and see what happens with it. But this would be Theta. All right? And we have to watch out for Theta because it really seems to want to deepen this thing quite a bit. It could hit us. It's we're not out of the woods yet. We're not, eventually, I think it's getting to the point where I think in a couple of years, tropical season is going to be all year round because of climate change. So there you go. And this could be quite a monster storm, too. Obviously, it's a way out. It's a week from Friday, but it is something to watch for sure. So let's look at the European model. Let's see a similar idea with this really deep trough. And there is Eta. So we got this really deep trough right there, and but it does lift out by Tuesday. So it's not going to be something that's going to stay stuck because there's no blocking. There's not much blocking, so it's just going to move on out, and then we get into this ridge, and we're going to be above normal for quite some time. So after that, so enjoy the cold because it's going to get warm again, unfortunately. So let's go to the North American view. We're going to keep it on the North American view so we can get an idea of go to the surface here. Uh, these tropical systems going through. So that high moves offshore. We get the return flow. Cold front approaches tomorrow. You can see there's going to be some heavy rain with that cold front, and then a very deep trough. We're going to take a closer look at that deep trough. But I have it on this wider view because there is Eta right there, and that is heading for, it looks like, Nicaragua. And it's not going to really be moving very fast according to this. And it actually, wonder, yeah, is that Eta? So it's actually the same storm. It's Eta. It makes a landfall over, and then it moves back up, and then this is the storm that would come, and then it sits over Cuba, and then it. This is just crazy here, but this is something you got to watch because you see this little jog to the left here that it has. That's what we got to worry about. Obviously, that's a ways away, but that could still be Eta, I guess. I don't know. But then there's something else over here. Literally, we're gonna have at least 2 or 3 more named storms, and I think all of them could be hurricanes. This is just how crazy this year has been. So let's change the region. We'll go back to CONUS to get a closer look at what's going on in the States. You can see that strong cold front there. That is going to be moving through. Look at how tight those isobars are. We're going to see a lot of wind on Monday and Tuesday. And that wind could cause some power outages and stuff. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Then it improves. Then the conditions improve, and we have lighter winds, but warmer temperatures as we get in the return flow of that high. So let's take a closer look at our area. And once it officially gets a name, we'll go a little more in depth on Eta. But right now we got to focus on our weather because we've got changes are coming. So this is the cold front that comes through. You can see a pretty heavy rain with this cold front. It's going to be a strong cold front. This trough is going to dig deep, and you're going to see a lot of wind. Look at how tight those isobars are again on Monday. There's going to be some tight wind Monday, and that wind is going to hang out until Tuesday. And there's a little short wave that comes through in the flow, so it might not be sunny all the time. It might even be a snow shower or two. It'll definitely be cold enough. And then the winds finally start letting up Tuesday night into Wednesday. And we'll see things not so stormy for a while for us because we've had a lot of crazy weather ourselves, especially with these wind storms. So let's go take a look at the NAM 12 kilometer. So, and again, you'll be able to see this cold front come through. All right, I don't want the 0Z run. We'll get the 18Z run. You'll be able to see this cold front move through here, and it's gonna rain, and then the rain could move in here probably by late afternoon, probably like 2-3 o'clock, and then it could pour, and that rain is gonna last for a couple of hours, and then hopefully it'll start moving out of here after 6-7 o'clock. But that could be a decent amount of rain that we're gonna see. You can see there's a low that forms right there. That's what the NAM has drawing up. And then as we head into Monday, you can see those instability snow showers perhaps. And look at those tight isobars. That's an incredible gradient, pressure gradient there that is going to develop. So let's go take a look at the total accumulated precip. So we can take a look at generally how much rain we're going to get. And we could see another inch of rain. And let's see the GFS, see what the GFS has also with that. Yep, another inch of rain is likely tomorrow afternoon. So it's going to come down kind of heavy. It's going to be a strong cold front. Could even be a thunderstorm with it. We're going to have to look at some of the instability parameters too with that. It's going to be a very strong cold front, and then behind it you'll see that cold air. So let me go, or we're at the GFS already, so let's take a look at the temperature. So you get to see this cold front in action here. So you'll see what happens tomorrow. We're reaching for 60 degrees, then the front comes through, bam! Temperatures start dropping once that front comes through in the evening, rapidly dropping, where in a matter of 6 hours the temperature is going to probably drop like 20 degrees. And by morning, we're probably at the freezing mark. And then we struggle to reach 40. On Monday. We struggle to reach 40. If you go a little further south in Jersey, you might get into the low to mid 40s, but on Long Island, we're going to struggle to reach 40 degrees. And Tuesday morning, the only thing is with that wind, we're not going to see radiational cooling. Tuesday's a little milder because, again, we're seeing more of a recovery less of that gradient, less of that flow. But this flow is coming right out of Canada. This front that's right out of the Arctic, I think it's an Arctic air mass. And then you see that recovery Wednesday, and then we go back above normal by Friday. All right. We're also going to look at the NAM as far as the temperatures go. Let's do that because that'll kind of show up that nice pressure gradient again. I know this is the earlier one here. I mean, this is the later. This is the 0Z NAM. I don't know if we're going to have enough of it in to show the front. But yeah, you can sort of see it. I'm going to move this back to the 18Z. But you can sort of see that front right there. You can see that front right there. There it is. Look at that. Very well defined, very sharp front. That's going to move through. And we'll also look at the dew points too, because there may be a little bit of area of elevated dew points. It's like a LLJ kind of event right ahead of this front right here. So if you look at this right here, this little low-level jet right here that will be coming in, that could provide the energy. You have this, and then you have the cold front. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's do that again. You have the LLJ right here. So you'll have strong south to southwesterly winds ahead of the front, bringing in some moisture. And then, change this over to blue, you have the cold front off to the west like this. So this is a setup for I'm going to draw the whole front, but this is a setup for convection in this area. So we're going to have to look at some convection parameters here as well. And there's another thing we can also look at, and that is what you call FGen. So I'm going to find, does this one have FGen? Yeah, this one has FGen. So look at all the FGen. This is basically, this is where fronts are. When you see these lines tight together like this, it means that there's a strong gradient in temperature. There's a strong front there. The more lines you see, the stronger the front, and the stronger the lift of the atmosphere. So that's why we could see some thunderstorms tomorrow in the afternoon, possibly. So yeah, it just keeps getting crazier. Oh, and then we've got to worry about the wind. So let's go take this to lower dynamics and look at the wind, because the winds are going to be an issue. Not so much tomorrow, but as we head into Monday. Look at these winds here. So, they're going to be sustained winds 30 to 40 miles an hour, perhaps over the east end, out over the water, 50 perhaps. So it's going to be some really intense winds. You're also going to have some lake effect, I think, going on for the lakes too, and you'll see it again on Tuesday with that second wave that passes. So very tight pressure gradient there. As you see, we're going to look at it on the GFS again as well. There you go. Look at that. So it's going to be very windy on Monday, very, very windy, 20 to 30 mile an hour winds, and it's going to unfortunately do a number on the foliage again. A lot of the trees haven't even changed yet. I was out there. Some of the trees changed and lost their leaves, and some of them there was trees that just were starting to change. So we'll have to see what this does to the foliage. So let's go look at the skies. That'll be the next thing we're going to look at here. And you'll see here a lot of clouds being developed. So you can see a lot of instability cloudiness that you're going to get with this because you have this deep trough, cold air aloft. So it's you might you'll have some clear sky. Probably start off clear and then it'll cloud up. Tuesday maybe we'll be better off, but right now the GFS seems to indicate a lot of clouds. We won't really get rid of the clouds until Wednesday with the moderating temperatures. So let's go look at the NAM sky cover. Again, I'll have to push this back to the 18Z run. So you see plenty of clouds tomorrow, obviously, and as we get into Monday, you see it tries to clear out, but then the clouds pop up in the afternoon, and it probably becomes mostly cloudy by noon. It's going to be a really raw. It's going to really be a nasty day to be out there. It's going to feel very cold with that wind chill. It's going to feel like it's below freezing with that wind chill. I want to look at the HRRR, see how much we have of that. So we can just look at tomorrow's rain. Let's see, I do have the 0Z. So let's look at tomorrow's rain, see what it looks like on the HRRR. And again, you see that rain, and this almost looks like a severe thunderstorms up here. So who knows? Maybe there'll be some severe weather. I'll have to check the SPC on that. And then look at those tight isobars. And again, that's going to translate to some very high winds. This is the winds at sea level. But if we take a look at the winds aloft at 850, look at some of these winds. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. So again, some of those winds could come down in a snow shower, perhaps. Maybe there'd even be a snow squall. I can't rule it out that there might even be a snow squall. That could happen. That could definitely happen. So let's go look at the Ventus sky site, because this is what I can use for Cape. So we can look at the Cape levels for tomorrow. So let's look at this. You can clearly see the front right here on this. Let me move this back a little bit. Let's see. I don't see too much Cape, so it doesn't look like there'd be any severe thunderstorms. But we can also use the lifted index too. And this might be up there a little. This might be, oh yeah, this is definitely elevated. So there could be a chance of a thunderstorm. There really could be. Look at that. Look at this. This really shows the front right here very well at around 4 o'clock. There you go. That's pretty impressive right there. That's pretty impressive. Let's go take a look at the. We're going to use windy.com, and let's look at the winds that we might be dealing with. And then I can wrap up this weather update. Again, so much weather to talk about. I'll be glad when we just have some peaceful weather, you know. Instead of all this storminess, it's crazy. But this is all part of what's happening in our planet. So yeah, this along. Now this is based on the European model, so we're going to move this along to 5 a.m. Monday, so get an idea of the winds here Monday. And you can see these are sustained winds now. Sustained winds 20 to 30 miles an hour. And offshore, you can have sustained winds 40 miles an hour from the west. So this is pretty substantial wind that we're going to be dealing with here. And that wind chill, you're going to really be feeling that wind chill. And you're going to be dealing with it again on Tuesday as well. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty rough. And again, if we look at that front again, you kind of see it on here. It shows up pretty well defined. So let's go move this to gusts, because we're going to be, oh jeez, this is getting kind of scary now. All right, so you can see offshore. We're not even at the worst part of it yet. Let's go to 6 a.m. Monday, where, all right, wind gusts aren't too bad yet. Let's move this along to 12 noon. Oh boy. All right, so this is pretty bad. All right, so now you got wind gusts 50 to 60 miles an hour likely. So this is the kind of wind that could cause some power outages and problems on the train, probably on the main line. You know, we're going to see a lot of wind on Monday, so it's going to be pretty rough. Monday is going to be a very stormy day, and probably a scattered amount of power outages around. And then Tuesday we're dealing with that wind all over again. Not quite as bad as Monday, but it's going to get pretty stormy. Then after that, I think we're done with it. So yeah, we got a lot to talk about in the weather department once again, and I'll keep you posted on all of it. I hope you have a great night, and thank you for watching.